Congratulations, Geeky Gamer, you have won a lifetime supply of eggs. Courtesy of Cosmo attempts. Yeah, this is what happens when you've got a chicken farm that produces way too many eggs and an anvil to hand. Hey, Cosmo here. Welcome to this, our 10th attempt on the NH13 server. Can't believe we made it to 10 episodes already. It's great. So in this video, I want to make a start on actually working out where we're going to put all the stuff in our base. So I'm going to start off by flattening all this area out because I don't need anything down in this valley. So we need to basically just bring the floor level up to here and take this valley out. I also want to be working in the Nether, so I'm going to flick backwards and forwards between doing the two projects in this video and see how that works as a different way of filming. So let me know at the end, see what you think, if it makes sense, bounce between the two projects as we progress. So while I work out where the floor is going to go here, let me show you also what I'm going to be working on in the Nether. Now in the Nether, we're going to be working on redesigning the Nether rail hub system. So Geeky Gamer is also working on redesigning the actual hub itself here, the central area. So I don't want to give any spoilers, so I can't look behind me. But I'm going to be focusing on working on the rail system, which will replace the way this currently works. I've started working on a new line already here, which is going to basically have a return line as well as a send line, which is kind of the idea. And yeah, so I'm going to work on the redstone for the new rail system, as well as the tunnels which take you down off of the redstone areas, like down here. So Geeky Gamer is going to be working on the actual central hub, and I'm going to be working on redesigning the areas out down here in the tunnels. So let me jump over into creative and I'll show you what the rail system I've been working on looks like. This is just a test design I've been working on. So it's got the main functionality in here. So it looks a bit more complicated than it actually is. But the main idea is the carts will always return back to the start point here. So when I get in the cart, I can press a button here, and I get the option to choose if I want to go left or right. If I click left, it sends me around to the left. The cart will get dropped back into the dispenser over here. I click the button there, and get back in again. Now you see, I can press this button to go off that way, and I can press this button to go off around to the left. So now you watch, when I press this button, you'll see the bit of track here will change if you look. See, it's changed direction now. If I move forward a little bit, you can see I now turn right. I go around, up and over, and it will drop me back onto the start line again. So obviously I can go off anywhere when I go right, I can go off onto a new better line. But the idea here is I can run and jump and not bang my head, and I can return back on the same bit of line by dropping down onto the track. So all I've got to do now is take the individual parts to this logic and apply them to our system. But before we do that, let's go have a look to see how our progress is going back at the base. So as you can see, I've flattened off all this area. There's still a hole underneath here, but I'm probably going to end up having basements underneath my shops anyway, so I thought there's no point filling it all in just to dig it back out again later on. So we've got a nice big flat area to start working out where we want to put our shops. I've also worked out where I want to potentially start putting my actual base building for my house, which will go on top of this hill over here. So I want to have the town area in here, and then off the side here, possibly have a set of stairs that go up here. Oh, hello, chicken. And then up here, on top of the hill, I want to have my actual base, my actual house will hopefully go in this area here. I've only put a rough shape out for now, so I get a rough idea. But yeah, it should be quite nice up here. We've got the view down there, we've got a nice beach. I'll clear out some more of these trees as well over time. But yeah, I think as far as a house goes, I think this is quite a nice spot. I'll probably flatten all this out as well here, so I can put like an outdoor swimming pool or some sort of sports area or something outside. I'm not sure if I will keep the building this shape. I just thought it'd be quite nice to have a rectangular house, but I don't know. It might not be wide enough. But we can work on that in another episode. At the moment, I'm just going to work out where the wire frames are going to go for a few of the buildings. I've also made an idea on what I want the pathway to look like. As you can see over there, I've started placing in some blocks what the path's going to look like. So let me jump down there and I'll show you what the path's going to hopefully look like. It's quite simple blocks really, but it's quite nice having the step texture there, but then it doesn't actually make you go up or down. So I thought I quite like that usage of depth, but it doesn't actually affect you as a player walking on it. Well, the only thing I've had to work out is the shape here, because I want the pathway to be, I think it's 5 wide. Yeah, with wood underneath like this, and these are basically going to have lamps underneath here. But at the moment I didn't have any, so I've just put a few torches along underneath the slabs. I'm trying to work out if I want to have half slab quartz all the way along, because I was originally going to use white concrete and then white quartz slabs over all the bits where I'm emitting light, because I need the slab. But to be fair, having the slab next to the white concrete makes the white concrete look grey, so I don't really like the look of that. So I might have to spend a bit of money over at Sugiki's quartz shop and get a load of quartz slabs to do this with, so it looks better than this. But yeah, so at the moment this is where I'm at. I've got a nice big flat area that I've opened up, and we're going to work out where things are going to go. So let me just skip the night, and then we can work on where this pathway is actually going to be going. Well, it's coming along anyway. Got to work out what I'm going to do with this weird shape here, but I'm sure I can put some sort of pattern in. I thought I'll have to have a think about what that will look like. But I'll have the pathway going along there, and a pathway along there. So this bit in the middle. Maybe I could put a fountain or something in there, just a feature in here, so it feels like this is actually being used as opposed to just a waste of space, which is what it actually is. But yeah, I had a long think about this, because I did originally think to maybe put my pier central to the town, but I don't really want that. The pier isn't necessarily the centre of town, so I'm happy with that being off centre. The centre of the town is really going to be these squares here. So what I'm thinking is having some form of water feature that flows down off of these hills here, and it'll go down along underground. So there'll be like a glass walkway here, and when you look down you can see the water underneath. Maybe I'll put some fish in there as well, so you can actually see the water underneath. It only needs to be like 2 wide, but you can then look down onto it. And that will then flow along here, and perhaps into this lake over here or something like that. So it feels like it loops around. It depends if I need this space. I might have to put a shop in there, so maybe it'll just be an underwater feature for now. It'll just sit and then go down to about here. So yeah, I've got a few ideas for this place, but I think that's a pretty good start for now. So let me, so I need to go grab some sand to make some more glass with. But whilst I go off and do that, let's go have a look to see how the progress in the Nether is coming on. This is what my Nether portal area now looks like. I've made a basic start on a textural design here. I've just gone with using oak and birch, as they are the easiest trees for me to get hold of. So I can make a mass production version of this quite easily. So that's the old size of the hub, and this is what it's going to look like now with a new texture. So the idea is going to be one rail is going to take us to our bases, like this line here, and then there'll be another line which is the line on the right hand side as I'm facing away from my base, which will always take you back to the main spawn area. So if I was to get on this line, it would take me back to spawn. But anyone that lives down here, like Pacer, for example, when they get on the rail here, they'll shoot along the line and they'll go up and over and drop back down onto the track here and carry on going along on the same bit of line. So we can both use the same bit of line and not interfere with each other's routes, which is quite nice. So what I need to work on is the redstone here. So the line getting us back to the central hub is quite easy. There doesn't need much redstone, it's just powered lines to do that. But the line coming down to our base is the one that needs a bit of redstone work, because as I get down to about here, I need to make a decision somewhere to say whether or not I want to go left to my base or carry on going straight on down to here. So I need to make sure this line can be usable for everyone. So I want to be focusing on the redstone logic to get this to work. So let me bring this bit of line up here and we can work on what we're doing. And right, somewhere around, say here, we need to be able to choose whether or not we want to go left or go straight on. If I do something like this, there, and there. That should work. Let's grab a button as well. Let's try and get rid of that. So if we come along here, right, we'll stop on the slope. If I press the button, it'll shoot me back along. That's good. But what we need to have happen is underneath this piece here, we need a torch that we can ignite. Oh, let's put that there. So if I put a torch here, oh, helps if there's a bit of track there. So if the torch is on, it goes that way. If I turn the torch off, it goes that way. Okay. So by default, we want this to skip past my base. So we need to have this torch on by default. So that's okay, you see, when it's like that, it's fine, because the minecart, when we go past it, will just skip over that bit of line, like so. So we just go past it, so that's no problem. So now what I've got to do is work on the redstone so that I can decide what do I want to do. So I should really have two buttons. I'd say the button on the right should go straight on or turn right, and the button on the left should then make us turn left. So I need to put another button in along here somewhere to press. I wish I'd get rid of that ghast. Right, let me get a bit of a run up and I can work out where these buttons need to go. Right, at this point here. Right, we now stop. So that's fine, I can reach that button fine, and I can reach that button fine. I mean, I could put the buttons there. It would probably make more sense, because then you have to reach around to get them. They're just literally there. So I'll move the buttons forward one, which makes sense. That's all fine. So this button's easy. That one's just, you literally press that button and that will just work, because it goes straight on. That's default behavior. And this one here needs to have interaction with down here. So let me dig out the area under here and gather some redstone components, and we can work on creating a time delay between pressing that button. Oh, that was weird. Between pressing that button and the rail. Nice. So I mined out a little area down here to do the work on, and the button's going to be going here. So I made a little gap next to it so I know where it is underground. So what I want is, if I use some slabs, some blocks here, I can work on some design ideas. So I need a repeater to go into this torch so we can turn it off. Line off of that. Now this is the bit I'm not 100% on just yet, but we'll work this out. We need some redstone dust up there. So when I press that button, that should power that redstone dust. Off of there, we can try having a comparator straight off of that. Oh, actually no, because it's up one high. Let's make the redstone line come off from up there down to here. So a comparator there and a comparator there. That should work, and then we'll power into there. So we press the button. This should create a time loop, basically, just for a little bit, to extend the length of time the button is triggered for. Because if I just press the button, it'll change the track, but by the time we get to it, there's a chance it'll already go back to being like this again. So if I get rid of that car a second, oh, I press the button, hopefully. There you go, you see it switches around. Boop. And then boop. But if I take out these comparators and just do that straight and see what happens. So there's a chance there that by the time we get to it, that'll already have turned off, which isn't what we want. So if I pop in a couple of comparators in there, we know for sure that even if it takes you a couple of seconds to start moving, or at least a second, if it takes you a second to start moving rather, you're going to have enough time. 1, 2, yeah, nice. Right, let's have a look to see if this works. So if I come along this line here, I press this button here, it takes me back over this way. Nice. No! There we go. I was trying to get it before it got off the top, but I didn't run properly. Nice, so this is where the other junction is going to go. I need to change the floor over in here. So let me redesign this a little bit so that we can actually work on the junction area in a bit of a time lapse. Right, that's that intersection done. It's not the prettiest start, I've only literally done up to there, but it gives me room, hopefully, to at least get the mechanics in for the redstone. which is what we're working on right now. So if I press this button, we would go straight on, so it doesn't need to do anything. If I press this button, that needs to swap. Which it did. Yay! Swap. And it goes back again. Yeah, nice. Let's put this flooring back in, and then we can give this a little test. Okay, so if we were to come along here, and it stopped in this valley, I can decide if I want to go left, I can press this button. I want to go to my base, I can press this button here, and it should take me round. Yay! But yeah, so let's head on back to my base and work out where we're actually going to put the frameworks for some of our shops then. Slight progress update on our town. That's what we've got so far. I need to go get some quartz still and put the middle line in on here, and then put the sea lanterns in. I've dug out a trough now to put the water in, so we can have a little stream underneath our town centre area, our square or rectangle. So yeah, what I want to work on now is trying to get some water flowing really from up here somewhere. So as you can see, I've got like a slight stepping stone going on here. Problem is this is going to flow off over this side, I think, if I'm not careful. So if I put a few more in along here, we should be able to direct the flow of water into that valley and then take them back out again if we're quick enough. So let me try doing that. So one there and then one there. Let's see where that goes. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, nice. So now if I take these back out again, carefully. Oh, not like that. Carefully. I might be able to keep the traffic, keep the water flowing that way. Yes. Oh, sorry, a bit wrong thing then. So I need to keep the water flowing that way, but not have all this dirt here, which is kind of the idea. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, it's cool, I like that. So the water's not actually got blocks all the way alongside it. Yeah, I love that. That's cool. So that's flowing down into there nicely. That'll flow along under here. Now this is only supposed to make it look like it's actually an attached water stream. It's not actually a stream because, yeah, that'll be a pain to deal with because I'm going to have to work out getting the water to keep flowing for this far, and I don't really fancy doing that. So I think using solid water also means I can put fish in it if it's solid water rather than just a stream. So I think it's actually going to be better having this full of water. But I'm going to make it too high full of water. That way when we've got fish in there, they've actually got room to swim around in. And I'll possibly put a couple of little plants in here as well. So if I just do that for now, should be able to top our buckets back up again. That's good. So now I should be able to just place water every couple of blocks and it should auto-fill. Oh, if I did it right. Why has it done that? Nice, that's the water in. So I pop some glass in along here. Get an idea of the effect. I need to put some fish and plants in here though, so this will need to be pulled back up again. If I put a few in though, I can use Silk Touch to pull a couple up. I'm thinking maybe we get rid of those ones. Oh, That's not good. Yeah. Maybe we do something like that. I mean, this is... I could actually wrap that around that side as well, couldn't I? That could look quite nice. Maybe I'll work on that next time. Wrapping that stone back along there. And I'll do the same this side as well, though, with the glass. So those aren't needed there. Yeah, I like that, having flowing water there. Oh, come on. Got loads of dirt. There we go. Yeah, I like the flowing water there because it implies it's going to go underneath the bridge, which is what we want. So that's fine. I'm good with that. Alright, we'll go up there and have a look, see down what this looks like from up there, and I think I'll call that a quit. So this is what it looks like from up here with my shaders on. I think that looks awesome. Look at the water flowing there. That looks so good. Once I've got a couple of fish in there, it's going to look amazing. Oh, I love it. It looks so good. Also, so I'm going to put some sea lanterns in underneath the path. That way we can get rid of all these torches and it'll be lit up from something underground, which will look really nice. Yeah, but I think that looks really cool. So yeah, I think I'll call that it for this episode. I think on the next one we can work on putting the frameworks in for where we want a few shops to go, and also work out what shops we actually want. I know I want a storage area, but maybe that could go off to one side somewhere. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.